Right, it is the big story, and it's the big change that has come into force today. The requirement for secondary pupils in classrooms to not have to wear a mask from today. Sharon Cromie is the head teacher of Wycombe High School and is on the line now. Good morning to you, Sharon.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us on this morning. What do you think of this announcement about face masks now not having to be worn in school?
Well, we were expecting an announcement to that effect next week. The government and the Department for Education have been quite clear that Plan B was going to be reviewed next week anyway, and that the wearing of face coverings in classrooms and communal areas was a temporary measure. So we were expecting an announcement. I guess I was a little bit surprised it came yesterday. But that is where we are, and it's, if you're a young person or a member of staff in a school, wearing a face covering for 5.5 hours all day, every day, is quite an ask, and it does interfere with the learning process. But I work within national guidelines, and I have a little bit of discretion at a local level, and what I'm focused on is making sure that our community remains as safe and well as it can, and that our young people can be supported to move forward with their education, that exams can go ahead, and that the school stays open.
I mean, presumably since they returned after Christmas, it's been a very different message you've been giving to your pupils now, and now that message has been turned off overnight. I mean, do you think you should have been given a few days to prepare for this? I mean, what do you have to do in preparation?
Well, I sent a message home to parents and students last night, just after, I think it was around 4:30 p.m, to let them know that we'd had communication from the Department for Education and what the facts and the national guidance is, because it's very difficult for any school nationally to sit outside national guidance. So I believe in just being transparent and sharing that information. We are in a much better place than we were this time last year. We came back to school last year for one day, a testing day, and schools were shut down. So I think collectively as a community, we can see and feel that we're in a better place and that we are starting to move forwards and learning to live with this situation. I have to say, the regional UK HSA, the Health Security Agency advisor in my area in Buckinghamshire, is fantastic, available to give immediate advice, which means that at a very local level, if we have any outbreaks, we have support and can make local decisions to help manage it.
But what about the parents? What's been their reaction? How have they received the news? Have they been able to tell you?
Well, not yet, because it's all quite new. So usually parents would ring in or write in, and, face coverings divide opinion. Some people think they're a great idea, that they are making a huge difference. Others feel quite the opposite. And as all I can say is that I'm very grateful to the Wycombe High School community, parents and students, that when there is some national guidance or the school asks them to do something, they pull together. And I think they do that because we've taken a measured and informed approach, and they can see that it is working. And there have been outbreaks and there have been issues, but it's steadily getting better. But it hasn't gone away, has it? And, I believe, and I'm not the expert in this, but I think, the data still shows that the numbers with COVID at the moment are higher than the peak of the second wave. The difference here is that not as many people are being hospitalised or indeed, sadly, experiencing significant complications or death.
So just to clarify your situation, you've allowed some discretion at school then. So what do you want to see your pupils doing today? I mean, they're probably coming in as we speak.
Yes, they are indeed, and I'm looking at them, and it's a mixed bag. Some are wearing their face coverings today as they come in, some aren't, whereas yesterday everyone was wearing them, absolutely everyone. So that will be choice for them, and they're making it, and they'll obviously discuss it within their families. But I think they all recognise vaccinations and testing have been absolutely critical in this. So we started the term with 2 days of testing, in-school testing for every student. And we had a very high consent and uptake on that. So we started the term with a real sense of we're in this together, let's make sure we're all free of COVID to try and keep each other safe and well. And at the minute, we've probably got about 10 positive cases across the student body. That's out of 1,320 students. We started the term with 5 teachers down. At the minute, we've got 1 or 2 down. But at any point in time, that can change. There is an element of luck in this, I think.
Yes.
And I think across the region, there are quite high numbers of schools that are having to do remote learning for some year groups. So it just depends within your community how it transmits. But vaccinations and testing are absolutely crucial. And of course, we ventilate every classroom, and we do keep pushing the personal hygiene message, so that personal responsibility bit.
Sharon, final question before I let you go. And we've talked about how the parents feel about this, how the students feel about this, and how you feel about it. But what about the teachers? How do your teachers feel about all of this? Have you had a chance to communicate with them about this change?
I've delivered the information to them. We haven't yet discussed it, but traditionally in school we do involve the whole staff. We consult and we say, what do you think? What kind of measures can we put in place? Are they working? Do we need to tweak anything? And they are very sensible and very creative in their ideas. But the staff, in line with many schools nationally, they come into this profession because they love working with young people and they want the very, very best for young people. So the will and the commitment to do what it takes to let these young people continue to move forward with their education and move on to their next steps is amazing.
Sharon, appreciate your time, and thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was Sharon Cromie there, who's the head teacher of Wycombe High School.